Start the party!
Hey guys, it's your boy Roy and welcome to Vanquish once again. This time we're going to infiltrate the Creon, and at the beginning of this round I'm going to be using a lot of melees to get high up in the air and try to actually shotgun them off their platforms, because or else I'm just not going to make it because I don't have enough ammo. One little weird detail is that that first guy, no matter how much you hit him, until he reaches that animation of "ooh, there's an enemy there," he won't stagger at all, which is pretty handy. So if you're going to use your HMG or assault rifle, you can just kill him from a distance really easy. Now, I kind of underestimated this part a bit because I thought it was only going to be 3 single enemies, and then I realized, oh wait, yeah, it's a lot more. I think it's about 9 enemies in total, so I'm just wasting my shotgun ammo, and in the end I kind of cut it close. But this gives me a good opportunity to talk about the enemy that's going to come after this, and we're going to see him right there. There he is, our little good friend, the Unknown. Now, an Unknown is basically a core. It's actually quite a little cute enemy. It's a red orb on 2 legs that collects scrap metal and all sorts of guns and metal parts, and sort of becomes this walking ball. Again, he sort of operates like a normal action game enemy, which I feel is something that this game really nails. Like, it grabs the enemies from one genre and puts it in another one, which is third-person shooter. It's got a couple of main attacks. One is what I like to call the tower defense attack, in which he will become like this standing tower with the eye exposed, shooting lasers everywhere. He can run around, and he has a really strong grapple attack, which means he will open up sort of a big jaw with the orb in the middle, and will rush towards you, instigating an instant kill attack. Now, there's a couple of tactics to really quickly deal with this guy. The most important one is to use an EMP and then take him apart with a melee attack. Now, if you open him up with a melee attack, obviously you're going to overheat, even if you don't hit his core. And his core is really weak. Like, a couple of shotgun shells can easily take off half his health. The tactic I'm going to use is to use a combination of grenades and EMPs to open him up, and then attack him with the assault rifle melee. And you'll see me do here, throw an EMP. Oh, just regular grenades. Open him up. There's the grapple attack that he likes to do. Throw an EMP to stun him, and then activate the Fist of the North Star kind of attack move. And he comes with the grapple again. Throw an EMP to grab some space. And here I'm using the shotgun to open him up. Another EMP. Just start wailing on him. And you can see it deals quite a lot of damage. Now, one big downside of him is that he likes to run away when he's recovering. Now, there's a simple way to deal with this, namely what I call grenade luring. Basically, when he sees you, he runs away from you. But if he sees a grenade, he also runs away from the grenade. Now, I'm not going to use it in this fight, but there's another fight, I think it's in this video or it's in the next one, where I show this encounter using this simple... Yeah, it's in the next video, it's not this one. Where I show you how to do the grenade lure. Because, for instance, you can throw a grenade in one direction, and then a grenade, like where he's going, and then throw a grenade in his back. Here you see the tower defense attack I talked about. So you throw one grenade where he's going, and one grenade in his back afterwards, so he runs away from the grenade that he was running towards, and then he sees the grenade in the back, and he's like, oh god, I'm not supposed to go there, and then he runs back into the grenade, or in you, but usually in the grenade, which is nice, easy damage, and it stuns him. But he can always be a bit of a frustrating enemy to fight, as you can see here. Like, I'm trying to catch up in melee, and thankfully, if you hit one of his parts, you don't actually overheat. And here I get him. Nice and easy kill. I really like the Unknowns by default. They're a really fun enemy to toy around with. Up and coming are the small shotgun enemy types. The blue Gorgies, I like to call them. I did have to restart here because I was running out of ammo, because I was toying around way too much. I actually managed to kill quite a bit of them before I died on my first attempt here. Just using melee. Checking if there's any shotgun ammo. If there's not. Because of the spawn, you can practically kill them all with just 2 grenades. They're nearly all dead. I think that's one of the biggest downsides of this game, but also, like, I'm not sure if I would have designed it any different if I did it myself. But basically, the entire refillability of your ammo, grenades, and everything when you die that's completely refilled. This allows you to basically just nullify any regular spawn if you're not afraid to die. This part I'm actually pretty proud of, because I did it in a single segment without dying, when shotgun only, and there's a couple of it's not too difficult, but there's a couple of brutal parts where I get really lucky, especially with my ammo, and I really had to use the crates for cover to use them in a very, very predictable fashion. That's one of the smaller things in this game. I'm like, okay, but why? Is the AI. I know they're robots, but even they should be able to assume, like, hey, he's behind a crate. Maybe I should, like, run the other way and grab him or something. Like, the fact that a simple crate can already, like, here I got really lucky. A single crate can nullify an enemy just by running circles around it and boost meleeing him in the face and then running away again. It's just weird. Here we have a couple of containers. The one on the right will contain a Romanov. And I kind of forgot about it because I was like, wasn't there an enemy coming out of this one? And then like, whatever, I'm just going to go on here. A couple of Gorgies, standard procedure. Here you see him open, and I thought it was going to come from this side, but he's going to come from that side. This type of Romanov, it's always the same story. Try and take out its shoulder turret or its head if possible. If not, just aim for the back, boost melee. Another couple of shotgun shells. And here I use my EMP to grab some time. I'm running out of options here. Just my luck. Yeah, and I'll also get my auto ARS. Like, that's still a thing that bothers me, that your game can auto ARS activate while you are in critical health after you've had it activated, so you can just get 2 double ARSs for nothing, which wastes a lot of time. There's a rocket launcher here for those who are interested. And now we go up. I always like this little section. If there's one thing that Vanquish manages to do is keep like the game interesting visually, even though it's kind of in a constant same situation, like this big futuristic city. Like it has a forest, and now we're inside a tank, which is pretty easy to forget, but I really like the detailing, the wiring. It really nails that aesthetic. Here we have a little turret. With turrets you can always go for 2 routes. You can destroy the turret or you can destroy the pilot. Generally it's best to just destroy the pilot, but I don't have the accuracy with my shotgun to do that. But you can always, if you know where they spawn, they usually spawn down. So you can look from for instance from upstairs, you can look downwards and you can shoot the pilot in the head before he really activates. Here, generally smartest idea, throw a grenade in there, kill them, because otherwise they're going to come upstairs with you, and then they'll actually be in cover, and now you can just throw a grenade in them, which is a lot easier. See, otherwise they would have been in there. Up here we have a short little walking segment where we have to wait for the elevator to get to the other side. I always thought this would be like a moment where there's enemies everywhere firing at you, but luckily for me with shotgun only they didn't, which is nice. And we upcoming here we have a short little encounter with, I think this is the encounter with the shotgun Gorgies, the blue Gorgies, with a rocket Romanov, and after that a shoulder cannon Romanov. I always forget the titles, like you got type F, which is flame I think, type D and type R. Need to check on that. I always forget those terms. Yeah, call the elevator. I said call the elevator. Oh, don't grab that. It's so weird watching yourself play, like, you know, thinking like, just grab the elevator. So yeah, this chapter is pretty easy. I mean, the fact that I can do it shotgun only in one go, almost. I think I got a couple of deaths on the unknown because I was just toying around too much, because I like fighting him. With these blue Gorgies, what you can do is you can wait until they do their air attack and then shoot them out of the air. Outside of being an easy target, they also get some fall damage. It's not a lot. I think you barely notice it. And with this guy, yeah, basic tactic. You can either rush him down. If you have an LFE, you can actually LFE shot him over the edge and he will die instantly, which is a fun little tactic. The LFE, in my book, is one of the best weapons in the game, because he's also one of the most fun weapons to use, because it has so much versatility. You can use it to instantly kill enemies, you can use it to throw them off edges, to make them bounce into each other, throw them off edges, like everything's possible, and it usually ignores a lot of the hitboxes, so you could, for instance, push him over the railing if you're lucky, which with normal weapons just wouldn't work. or in other games as well. They would just put up an invisible wall. But not in this game, which I find to be really just excellent. But yeah, this game is excellent, so there we go. The only thing you should note here is that this Romanov has the heat wave attack. I think it's, or sunburst. I don't think it has an official term. I'd like to call it sunburst in reference to Metroid Prime 2. You can just ignore all his attacks because of this crate, but the sunburst goes through everything. He'll usually charge it with a really loud screech, and I think he only does it when he's enraged. Here I get really unlucky with the auto-targeting. One shot left. And it's an instant kill on, I think, every difficulty, so just keep that in mind. And if you do, you'll be fine, because melee is really good. That said, I think that's the end of the chapter. Yeah. I wonder how many deaths I have. If I could check it, because I can't really read. Is it 6, I think. Oh, not bad. Alright, that was that chapter. See you guys next time.
Hey, do your job.